Hey guys, Bad Space Wolf here. Well, here is half of my space, my Space Wolf blood claws. And I'm sorry if my music is loud, I just started turning it on because I just got done touching up these guys a little bit more. And I just kind of sat them over here like in a cluster. Hold on, let me turn it down, guys. Because that is starting to get louder. Okay, I apologize about that, guys. I just had to quickly turn it down a little bit. Alright, now back to this. I apologize I didn't do an unboxing video on these guys. Unfortunately, I did do an unboxing video on these guys when I got them. And, well, there's a reason why this guy's in there, but anyways, back to what I was saying. Sorry, I got off topic again. But, I unfortunately, when I uploaded it and that, it somehow got deleted, and I already deleted it off the camcorder, so I couldn't redo it. And the reason why I couldn't do it is because, well, I already had these guys completely painted up on sprue and already trimmed out, so, yeah. And you guys ain't really missing much, and I'll talk about it as I go on. Time to show you guys these guys. I, did blood claws, because I don't have any blood claws right now for my army. And these guys are all going to be just straight up bolt pistol and chain swords. I'm not really going to give them any other weapons because, well, I'm going to have these guys as cannon fodder. I still got to do their shoulder emblems. When I get the other guys do the touch-ups on their legs and arms and that, and have them all glued together, I should have their pack markings on them. They probably will not have their iconography on them. But yeah, and you're probably asking yourself, why are they this color? If I'm doing a Space Wolves army, they're usually blue. They're usually like a light blue. Well, I said this in an earlier video, like really early. I'm not a really big fan of their color. I love the Space Wolves. Don't get me wrong. I love their background. Their fluff is awesome. And I just love their fluff. But the color scheme that GW came out with, I'm not a really big fan of it. So I after looking at the codex and that, and kind of seeing a little bit on how dark it's portrayed, I like that. I really liked it, so I did that for my Marines. And how I achieved that, I base coated them black, and then I took true navy blue, and then did 3 layers of blue on it, because when it first comes in, this is actually what it looks like. It's a little bit of a darker blue. This is actually one of the first guys I painted up. So, yeah. And he's portrayed as Grey Hunter, so yeah. Just to kind of give that, just because they're a little bit older, gritty looking. But back to what I was saying. We're talking about these guys, not these, so he's going off to the side. What I did was I did that blue, and then I started working from the ground up. I did, what I do with my wolves is I do their knee pads and shoulder pads, knee pads, not shoulder pads, but their knee pads and elbow pad parts, as you can tell, and that it was the originally dwarf bronze, but I switched over to the new paint line, just because, well, when my bottle of dwarf bronze runs out, and even though it's a still full bottle, I'm gonna have a lot more Space Wolves, and I won't be able to paint them up in that color scheme, so I might as well just convert it right away. So yeah, I used a Hush It Copper, and there's a reason why I didn't bring in the True Navy, because that's a 24-ounce bottle, and I'd have to zoom, and it looked really like bam. And yeah, I didn't want to do that to you guys. But back to the models. I did their skull, like all the skulls and teeth and that in sandstone, and then Devil and did RJ. Better do this. Better. That way I don't ruin the name. I always get it wrong sometimes. Their shoulder pads were done in a yellow, just a real. It's called real yellow. Some of like the runes and that were done in where is it? Oh, yeah, blue stoneware. And let's see here, what else? Their trimming on their shoulder pads is template red. I gotta still go over their shoulder pads again to kind of make them a little bit more red, or just probably keep it that way just because I kind of like that brightly colored look. Like, their armor's still bright, like they're just still fresh recruits. And I really love how their faces came out. I did the skin in apricot cream. And then I washed it down. I did a heavy wash down with Ericlin Flesh Shade, just to kind of give them that look like they are getting that their skin is starting to change, because if you guys don't know, for those of you who do not know about the Space Wolves, they suffer from their genetic gene seed, which means it kind of makes them look, after centuries, even decades and centuries of their life, and that their hair and that starts to kind of turn more into a mane, and their skin kind of turns more into like a wolf's hide and that kind of stuff. But yeah, and I just kind of wanted to give it that look, like it's starting to turn. You can see in some parts where it's still like not too light, but it's getting there. And the guys' hairstyles, I forgot to mention what colors they are. The two guys that have orange hair, these two, have pumpkin orange. How I did this effect with their hair, and that I first, when it was still black and that, I didn't paint it first. I tried dry brushing it, and it really wasn't working out, so what I did was I painted over it, and I kind of like that effect, like it's starting to kind of look like it's matted a little bit. Same with this guy. That's the one thing I kind of don't like about the Space Wolves set. That's why mostly you'll see a lot of my guys with their helmets on, except for my Wolf Scouts, because, well, I don't like their hairstyles. They look so weird. It's like they look more like a reject 80s rock group with this hairstyles, and I don't know. It's just so weird. But back to the models and that. I'm trying to think of a couple other things, guys. I'm sorry. I'm really bad at this right now. I'm trying to remember stuff. Right, these two guys, I forgot, I mentioned these two, I didn't mention these two. How rude of me. Their hairstyles were toffee. Just painted up toffee, no dry brushing, no nothing, just painted up toffee. So yeah, and now to this Marine. I did this with all my guys, like looking at some of like some of these darker box arts for some of these like when I seen the Night Lord stuff when they were coming out with their novels and that, like seeing that dark armor with that really bright blue, and I fell in love with something. I wanted to do something with that with my Space Wolves with their lenses, because I really don't like the traditional green or red lenses that you usually see. It just turns my stomach. So I do, and you guys probably have noticed, I use a lot of this blue sapphire and a lot of stuff I do. It's because I believe it's my favorite color, because it looks so beautiful on a model. I don't use it all the time, but when I do use it, it gives it that pop, which I want. And all the metal in that was just washed down in Nolan oil. So yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. It's Bad Space Wolf here. Peace.